Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Huddle, your daily dose of change experience. I'm your host, Stef Simich, and I'm excited to dive into today's topic, team experiences, and how you can ignite and inspire change regardless of the role that you have within your team. Many people believe that a team leader has to hold some managerial position or even have just direct authority over others. But the truth is, team leadership goes beyond titles and job descriptions. It's about stepping up, taking initiative, and truly becoming a catalyst of change for your team. Each of us has the power to ignite and inspire change, to create change experiences, no matter where we stand within the organizational structure. Whether you're an entry level employee, a seasoned professional, or even as a newcomer, your perspective and your actions truly matter. So, how can you see yourself and become a team leader and foster change experience within your own team? I would love to take today and spend a little time going over a few strategies that I have personally used as I've wanted to impact change with those around me. Now, the first one is going to come across as super cliche, but lead by example. The truth is, you never know when someone is watching you or observing how you handle situations. And this isn't in a keeping an eye on you way. This is a wanting to know more about you. So, I call this whole phenomenon influencing without authority. This is when you know there needs to be a change. This thing that we call work feels like it lacks purpose, or simply work is just too hectic. So, when you know that you want to impact change and you don't know how to do that, like what where do you start? How do you accomplish this? Well, when you see an obstacle or a problem, you act on a solution rather than just like suggesting one or ignoring it completely. If I think about like one thing, like the one main thing that truly plagues all meetings, it's simple. It's a lot of talking with very little action. How many of us have been in a meeting with no action? Well, a few years ago, I was in an ops role and I would find myself in our group of directors, and we would be having multiple meetings where it appeared that little to no action was actually being accomplished from the meeting. And so I tried to sit back and think, this is a great group of people. Like, why is no action getting done? And I realized it's because we would have these amazing meetings and we'd have these big ideas, but no one would actually be assigned a task or even any kind of follow up from it. So, I will start by saying that following up is one of my gifts. That does not always translate to follow through because, like a true ADHDer, I'm really good about getting things to that 95%, but struggle getting things over the hump. Now, following up, recalling important details and conversations, I got you. So, the next meeting with this group of directors, I took notes during the meeting and I assigned actions to people and distributed it after the meeting. I also instituted a parking lot procedure. When we would get off topic, we would put that topic on the parking lot for future discussions and then get back to the task at hand. Now, if you don't know what a parking lot is, this is such a good tool, and I really encourage you to use it in your next meeting. It's a separate sheet of paper or like a whiteboard where you write down items that come up during discussions that truly do warrant their own discussion and decision making, but they aren't relevant to the specific meeting agenda at hand. You put that on the parking lot so you can get back to really achieving the goal of the meeting that you had. Now, even though I was in these meetings with a group of my peers and my colleagues never questioned why I was taking notes or sending them action items because it wasn't about me trying to be anything other than, well, I was tired of talking about the same thing. And so I think they were too. And they enjoyed seeing follow through and action from the time we spent in those meetings. So if you see an obstacle, you likely aren't the only one. But by focusing on change experience, you might be the only one who does something about that obstacle. Which brings us right into our second way to really impact a team, no matter what your role is. The power of effective communication and collaboration is the biggest tool that we have in driving change within a team. We often talk about within corporate culture how important communication is. Well, if we're only talking at each other and not collaborating, that communication doesn't go anywhere. So, using terms like an idea I had for the future is XYZ. That allows you to understand what's going on and focus on the future rather than the past negative actions that may have occurred. Another one of my go to terms that I use when I really want to have collaboration is tell me more. Tell me more about that situation. Tell me more about how you feel about that situation. And then that way, it opens up the floor for that person's feelings and thoughts to be validated. Always remember to confirm your understanding after you do this. If I understand you correctly, you're looking for more written communication in the future, as that will allow you to have a checklist to follow up on versus having to come to me and ask me in person. In that scenario, you're not only confirming that you listened to the speaker and that you heard what they said about the situation, but you're also reiterating the new idea for the future. And then actually follow through on it. That's the big thing. Okay, so now we're seeking and acting on solutions, right? And we are having improved conversations and we're collaborating with others. So how does all of this come together and creating a change experience for you as a team that impacts the other people on your team? Well, it's important to understand what actually makes change experience different than change leadership. The biggest difference is that with change experience, you are rewiring your brain and how it processes things. So, to give you an example, if you've only ever experienced a limited mindset work life, and so there's never been enough staff, there's never been enough money for bonuses or promotions haven't come through, raises, or if those promotions do come through, it is an undeserving candidate, or worst case scenario, you've only experienced seeing nepotism. The reality is, in that limited mindset, no amount of raw leadership is, that change leadership totes is going to ignite a path for a growth mindset. So I use those terms, growth and limited mindset. But what does that actually mean? Well, simply put, a limited mindset sees abilities as fixed and unchangeable, while a growth mindset acknowledges the potential for growth through and improvement through like effort and learning. So, change experience. What change experience does is it supports a community effort of learning. When the team that you're in is willing to try something new to see if it improves all of your work lives, that is when a growth mindset starts blooming. So, understanding change experience and understanding how this isn't a top down directive, but really a change from within, that is how you can better understand that whether you're leading a team or are a member of a team, that your ability to see potential will allow you to impact those around you to continue moving towards the future. Remember, being a team leader doesn't require a title or a specific role. It's about taking ownership. uh, it's about taking ownership of your actions and embracing the opportunity to make difference within your team. As we continue our journey of change experience, let's challenge ourselves to be team leaders. Let's challenge ourselves to inspire change from wherever we stand. By igniting change within our teams, we create a ripple effect that can transform our organizations, our communities, and truly our lives. So, thank you for joining me today on the Morning Huddle. I hope this episode has truly empowered you to embrace your influence without authority. Tune in tomorrow for another exciting episode as we explore the power of our well-being and how that directly interacts with our change experience journey. Change starts with you, and together we really can create extraordinary transformations. So until next time, keep igniting change and inspiring others on their own change experience path. This has been another episode of the Morning Huddle, your daily dose of change experience. I'm Stef Simich, signing off with a reminder that change starts with each and every one of us. And I'm here to ask you, are you ready to experience the change?